The Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. It's what you've been waiting for. 2K Sports and the NBA present our Wednesday afternoon affair. And brought to you by State Farm. A look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Lynch is out there with Ratliff. Then it's Iverson. Then there's Snow. And it's Geiger in at the 5. And for the Lakers, they've got O'Neal. Harper is out there with Bryant. And it's Knight in at the 4 slot.
Well, the 76ers didn't really make any drastic changes heading into last year, preferring to just let their core grow. And I thought that worked for the most part. You know, they really played well early in the season, but it was kind of disconcerting to see them fade the way they did late in the year.
Tip-off goes to the Lakers. Harper kicks to Bryant. Knocked loose and stolen by Iverson. And here comes the break. Here's Snow, drops in the breakaway layup.
And there's the first bucket of a game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
Still, though, you know, a lot of teams faded toward the end, Steve, don't you think? And if you're the 76ers, you have to be pleased with, Clark, how that core grew as they approach the end of the season.
Yeah, they know that they can have stretches where they can really compete with anybody in the East without really having to bring anybody in. The next step for them is to be able to maintain that level of play for the whole season and continue to get growth from their young players.
Right now, let's go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Rick Adelman. Doris?
Well, Coach said to me that he stressed to his team that it is all about defensive effort in this game. He said he told his team, if you're tired, be tired on offense. I don't want to see anybody not going full speed on the defensive end tonight. I don't think we'll see any of his players relaxing on the defensive end, guys.
Thank you very much, Doris. The defensive strategy, guys, being heavily enforced by the coaching staff.
And that's in large part because of the talent they have on that side of the ball. A lot of length, speed, quick hands. They've got a lot of ability on that side of the floor.
Well, when you've got the horses, you've got to ride them and let them run. And defensively, they've definitely got some horses.
Here's O'Neal after the Sixers pick up 2. Lakers passing it around. Shot clock at 6. Stolen away. Now the 76ers on the break. Here's Lynch. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Ammonia strong finish right there, partner. You hear me? That was ammonia strong.
Yeah, ripped it down with 2 hands.
That's about as high percentage as you can get.
And so it's the Lakers with it. The 76ers getting the bucket. Harper kicks to Knight. He dishes it to Bryant. Over Iverson. The shot by Bryant, no good. The 76ers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Passes it to Lynch. To the paint. A nice shot by Geiger.
This has been the start that they had hoped for, coming out knocking down 4 of their first 5 shots.
Rice, Lynch defending. Here's O'Neal. Good.
If he gets a glimpse of an opening, he's going to take it right to the rim.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Harper against Snow. Ratliff shoots from the line. And again, it's Philadelphia. Lakers trail by 4. Outside Bryant. Fires at the elbow. And he hits the jump shot. The 76ers have gotten only 1 of their first 6 shots to fall today. Ratliff up top. He's guarded by Knight. Here's Iverson. No good. And the Lakers will go the other way with it. Harper kicks to Bryant. And again, it's the Lakers. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. There's the pass to Snow. And he converts the layup.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there.
Here's Harper inside. Here's O'Neal. And yes, sir, that one drops. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here
You know, the Lakers have long been the pride of the West for the better part of the century, but every so often they can hit tough stretches, and last year they had a hard time with the East.
Yeah, they just couldn't do what the rest of the Western Conference playoff teams did against the East, and the Lakers, Steve, were 9 up and 9 down, right at 500.
Yeah, kind of surprising, given that the East was the weaker conference for sure. I would have expected a better record from the Lakers. They really got off to a slow start, particularly on the road, and I think that cost them a little bit at the end.
And the Lakers making a change here. Warriors checked in. Dishes it to Ratliff. Snow. Iverson. He's guarded by Harper. And it's blocked. Geiger passes to Lynch. Iverson. Clock at 4. Good. Iverson's got his second bucket. The Lakers with the ball. Trailing by 2. Outside Harper. Kicks to Bryant. Pass to Ori. Back to Bryant. Over Snow. And it's Bryant missing.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Deflects the pass. He's got a clear path. Here's Harper, and that one's good.
That's an old-fashioned finish there, guys, going to the finger roll to get the easy 2.
The 76ers have gotten 7 of their first 10 attempts to fall so far. Excellent pace to their offense.
Pretty significant laps there on the defensive end, guys.
Yeah, those are the ones, you just can't allow that.
No, if you're giving up dunks and layups, defensively, you're in huge trouble.
Here's Harper. Left side, Bryant. And it's Lynch with the rebound.
I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make, but when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make.
Geiger working against Harper. Passes it to Snow. The feed to Iverson. Jacks up a 3. That is good. Iverson's got 9.
Boy, he's been so dependable here this game, really playing well offensively.
Lakers trail by 5. Now the pass to Ori. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
Both sides really coming out of the gate firing here.
Guys, they look like they were raring to go in this one. A lot of offense early on.
Here's Iverson. Another 3 for Philadelphia. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Philadelphia, by virtue of playing a number of games at home early in the season, really started hot last year, but then faded down the Eastern Conference ladder as the season wore on. A part of that was their difficulty in winning games on the road.
So both teams changing it up here. The Lakers have gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. You mentioned it, Clark. 76ers road play. They finished 16 and 17 there, which isn't bad, but it kept them down probably at that 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. And, Steve, a few more wins, it would have changed a lot for them.
Well, as it was, though, it turned into a pretty good draw because they were actually able to play Chicago in the first round after Rose got injured. They won that round, took Boston to 7. So that 8 seed actually was kind of a charm for them.
He's off on the second.
Well, he's got the special ability, Kevin, to make shots while being heavily guarded. And I don't know how he does it, but he figures out a way to get the ball in the basket, even under pressure.
And what he can do with the ball in his hands borders on miraculously ridiculous sometimes. He's broken a few ankles in his day, that's for sure.
McKee, again, Philadelphia. .129 left in the first. Fisher, the pass to Fox. He feeds it to Bryant. Down low. A pass to Fox. Fires from deep. They get it back. And Rodman gets it to go.
Real persistence on his part. Stayed with the play and cashed in with the second chance points.
The 76ers leading by 3. Passes it to Lynch. That one goes. Count it.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Here's Iverson. Gets it to go. And it's a 7-point 76ers lead.
This has all been about him this quarter. I mean, their lead is safe if he keeps up this kind of play.
Bryant with it. Iverson picks him up. Feeds it to Fisher. 6 to shoot. Here's Reed. Gets it to go. "20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Iverson outside. From outside the arc, another 3 for Philadelphia.
Since the first tip, he's been red hot from long range. He's in the zone right now.
Right at the free throw line, and there's another one for the Lakers. Shot is off. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. 76ers ahead, up by 6. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
How about the three-point shooting? The scoring has really come in bunches from long range.
Yeah, it seems like every time down the floor they're knocking down the triple.
The 76ers leading by 6. We've got Ori. Also O'Neal out there. And it's Harper in at the point. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. Geiger against O'Neal. Geiger passes to Ratliff. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second ball. The Lakers shooting has been sensational. 75% for the game. To the middle. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
That's not what they needed there, that's for sure.
Bryant is checked in for the Lakers. The 76ers shooting an almost unfair 78% from the field. To the inside. A nice shot by Geiger. Lakers trail by 8. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Kevin, through the first third of last season, the Philadelphia 76ers were sitting atop the Atlantic and among the top teams in the East. But then they hit a wall. Most significantly, their offense really struggled. And it was interesting that even though their defensive philosophy was to force other teams into mid-range jump shots, all too often they settled for these shots themselves. So even though their caution offensively kept their turnovers down, their shooting percentages were pretty abysmal. Kevin, we'll see if this season they can attack a bit more to get some higher percentage looks.
We will indeed. Thank you, Doris.
And some instant offense coming for them after that steal.
Yeah, that's terrific, beautiful transition basketball. No chance at all for the defense to get back and set up.
Ryan against Hughes. Gets it to go.
Boy, every time they drop it in, they do so from close range. Easy baskets.
Yeah, high percentage looks time and time again, guys, and it's paying off for them. The way they're playing this game, I like their strategy.
So both teams making some changes here.
Staples Center was just an unwelcoming venue all around last season, and the Lakers did their part by defending the home court not only with pride, but passion too.
Here's Fisher. Rodman with a screen on Lynch. Here's Rice. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Lakers always tough, as you mentioned, Clark, here at home. And last year, no different. Ended up 26-7 here inside the Staples Center. Was a big part, Steve, of why they were able to win the Pacific Division.
Well, any team that is a serious championship contender, Kevin, is going to control its home floor. And the Lakers, despite the fact that they lost in the conference semifinals, they were a contender, and they controlled their home floor pretty much all season long.
The 76ers were the 8th seed in the playoffs, and even though they upset the Bulls in the first round, it wasn't really considered a shocker as the Bulls were playing without Derrick Rose.
Iverson's checked in for Philadelphia. And so he makes both from the line. But not to take anything away from the 76ers, they earned that win and showed they can make some noise in the playoffs. And you saw the kind of trouble they gave Boston in that second round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that series went 7 games, so you know, that victory over Chicago was no fluke. The Sixers were a tough out, great defensive team, quick, young, athletic, and they've got a bright future, guys.
And the Lakers making a change here. Knight's checked in. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's Fisher. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Fisher's got his first points of the game. And McKee kicks to Iverson. Three-pointer hits the bucket.
My goodness, he's knocking down everything he looks at.
The pass to Fox. Puts up a 3. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Mahorn the pass to McKee. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. And it's a 10-point 76ers lead. Timeout called the Lakers.
You know, with the Lakers, it's all about winning titles. Anything else is considered a disappointment. They were tested early, though.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Go back to that matchup for the Lakers against Denver. Kobe's illness, had the stomach flu, Artest out with the suspension, Meta World Peace. You know, had gotten the late regular season suspension with the elbow to the side of the head of James Harden. Steve, they were certainly facing their struggles.
Yeah, and those struggles caught up to them in the next round, Kevin, when they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, the younger, more talented team winning in that one. So for the Lakers, you know, moving forward, they've got a lot of talent, but it's aging talent. And sooner or later, they're going to have to get younger on that roster.
Here's Fisher. A pass to Fox. This one for 3. Can't get it to go. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Here's Iverson. Got it. Good job in the low post. Iverson's got 22.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
You know, most great teams are really built around 1 or 2 stars and then some role players surrounding that core. But the Sixers are different. They don't have a superstar. So they've played the last few years with a group of young guys who are athletic, who play together, who defend, and they try to get out and run. So for the most part, it's been pretty successful. But again, so tough to win in this league at a high level without a star.
You know, when he scores buckets like that, Kevin, it just shows that he can bring some of that X factor for his team.
Timeout called the 76ers. And there are a group of teams that have found success, Steve, like that. You know, you can point at teams like, say, Memphis and the Indiana Pacers, Clark. You know them. And certainly, Clark, the 76ers along that same vein.
You know, Kevin, as Steve said, it's hard to win without a star, and you wonder if Philly will eventually shake things up to bring somebody in of that level. But I'm not quite sold on the fact that you can't do it at a high level with really good, cohesive players. And much like the Sixers, Grizzlies, Pacers, those teams have good young players, and I think they can be championship contenders if they keep developing.
Here's Fisher. The 76ers getting the bucket. Six on the shot clock. Here's Reed. And the three off target.
Well, they are getting out-rebounded here, and it's showing up on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to improve upon if they're going to win this game.
And that is good. Iverson's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Well, after that strong start to this game, he's really picked it up here in the second.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Rice, Lynch defending. Here's Rice. Hill pulls it in. The 76ers leading by 14. He passes it to Geiger. Kicks it out to Iverson. The three. Another three for Philadelphia.
Anytime they've needed a hoop, he's taken over one shot after another. Boy, is he playing well.
The Lakers have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. A platoon swap here for the Lakers. And the 76ers making a change here. Here's Harper. Over Hughes. Harper's shot's good. Harper's got 6 points. Clark, one thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And you love to see that, Kevin. I mean, I love watching unselfish play, and I know Steve enjoys that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look out. Oh, wow.
He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
There's the dish to O'Neal. We've got 1:55 left now here in the second. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. The Lakers have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys. They're down below 70% as a team from the line.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
And he knocks down the first one. Both teams deciding to change it up. Or he hits them both.
They're not going away, and they've been aggressive drawing contact.
Free throws are always a good way to get back into it, too. The clock isn't running. They can cut into that lead. They get their defense set up as well.
That is good. Iverson's got 33 points. 1:39 left in the first half. Snow against Bryant. Pulls it up. And again, the Lakers no good. The 76ers leading by 17. Ratliff in for the dunk.
Yeah, he spent a little extra time on the rim there. It looked like he wanted to do a pull-up.
It looked like it checking his landing. I think Clark, man, pretty big statement, too.
Yeah, or so he'd have the refs believe.
Ori, a screen on Iverson. Outside Bryant. He kicks to O'Neal. Clock at 6. O'Neal a screen on Iverson. Here's Bryant. Count that one. Bryant's got 11 points.
Well, it wasn't a textbook pick, but he still managed to score. Good concentration on the finish.
Passes to Geiger. Leads him in there. The pass to Snow. He dishes it to Iverson. Over Bryant. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
I'm just so impressed with his focus, Kevin, because even with the defender flying at him, he still finds a way to hit those shots on the perimeter.
And I don't think we can talk about him without also mentioning his tendency to just erupt and string together a bunch of baskets in a row in a what a throwdown there, man! Nasty, nasty, whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. I mean, that was just mean right there.
Iverson passes to Snow. Cuts to the middle. He lays it in with a soft touch. He has 6. Here's Harper. He has 6. And that one's good.
That's exactly what they had in mind on that possession.
Up in time. No good on the buzzer beater. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. 76ers lead by 17. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And now it's time to break down the first half for you here on this Wednesday edition of 2K at the Half. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they have the lead against the Lakers out at Staples Center. The assist total indicative of their unselfish play, spreading that ball around. There's no quit in the Lakers. They came to win. They've benefited from some excellent contribution from their bench, providing scoring in bunches when called upon. It's been a major advantage. And that's all we have for you here in the studio. Now let's send it on back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half of play.
Welcome back as we return here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. The 76ers leading by 17. Tipping off the second half, here's Paul Silas's 5. Snow out there with Iverson. Then it's Lynch. Then it's Geiger. And it's Ratliff in at the power forward.
He's been a big part of his team building this lead. Another solid offensive effort.
Dishes it to Knight. Kicks it to Bryant. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Outside Harper. Shoots from the elbow. And the Lakers take on 2 more. Philadelphia's gone 6 of 10 from three-point range, up over 50% for the ball game. Now the feed to Iverson. The fadeaway. Blocked. Bryant against Snow. Outside Harper. Over Iverson. But they get it back. Moves back up. O'Neal misses. And the 76ers with possession. He feeds it to Ratliff. Gets it to go. Ratliff's got 6 points.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
Lakers trailed by 19. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Feeds it to O'Neal.
Ridiculous move.
Tore it down that time.
There's no stopping him when he gets to the basket like that. If you can't foul him in time, just get out of the way.
And the 76ers call time here.
And I think he believes that if he takes some time here to kind of talk things over, it'll be well served for this club.
And, you know, maybe this gives him an opportunity to toy around with some of their game plan while he has their attention during this break in the action.
The 76ers leading by 17. Here's Snow. He's got 6. Iverson outside. Over Bryant. And that one's good, Iverson. Iverson's got 39.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Timeout called the Lakers. And the Lakers have possession. 19-point game. Harper, no good. Geiger passes to Iverson. Pass to Snow. Back to Iverson. Shoots over Harper. Again, Philadelphia.
They're just getting better offensively as the game goes along, making good choices and getting high percentage shots.
And they're playing hard and playing smart too, Steve. They've just been very, very good.
Here's O'Neal. Buries the hook. O'Neal's got 4 points this quarter.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this one.
Ratliff with the ball. He's picked up by O'Neal. And it's the Lakers on the break. And that's the devastating one-handed jam.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
Here's Ratliff, and he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own. Lakers trailed by 19. The dish to O'Neal. The shot, and it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Ratliff's got his third rebound tonight. He passes to Lynch. Backs in, pass to Snow. Lynch passes to Geiger. He kicks it to Ratliff. Gets it to go. Ratliff's got 10.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
And Ratliff no good on that one. The Lakers have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Cuts off the pass. Outside Hill. Here's Iverson. A three-pointer off the mark.
It's been a tale of two halves. Our guys, he was on fire from long range in the first half, but not so much here in the second.
Shot's good. Hughes with it. 5 points in the game. He dishes it to Ratliff. From down in the low post, it goes. Ratliff's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
And here's Fisher. Rodman with a screen on Hughes. Fisher against Hughes. Shot clock at 5. Both teams will make substitutions. Patterson down low. He's covered by Snow.
You know, and I think it goes without saying, guys, but his strength and body control scoring in close, that's what makes him special. You can see it with the shooting percentages inside. I mean, he's a tremendous finisher.
You know, Steve, something else that jumps out at me about him is how often he thwarts penetration with his active hands. I mean, he gets a lot of his steals as players try to make their way to the basket.
And the Lakers call time here.
All right, Advantage Center. Look who's coming on the court. Come on and hit it up for your Lakers girls.
Think about it, understand it's a addict, addicted to music, really it's a habit. I gotta use it, even if it's jazz or the quiet storm. I hook a beat up, converted into hip-hop form. Gotta rhyme into obedient.
Bryant is checked in for the Lakers. And the 76ers also making a change. Iverson's checked in for McKee. Here's Harper. That's good. Harper's got 4 points this quarter.
Great move to get to the bucket and lay that one in. He's got the softest touch around the basket. Impressive.
And the pass to Lynch. Pass to Geiger. Kicks it to Iverson. Over Bryant. Again, Philadelphia.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for them. At some point, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Pushes to Iverson. It's stolen by Bryant. And it's the Lakers on the break. Bryant's running. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Here's Harper. 14 points for him. The feed now to O'Neal. A minute 42 left in the third quarter. Goes up with a strike. And he connects with the jumper. Rice has got 8 points. The 76ers leading by 17. Passes it to Mahorn. O'Neal's there. The pass to Snow. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Such a wide open look. Iverson's got 11 points in the quarter.
He has taken over this game, guys. I don't know what else you can say about it.
Harper kicks to O'Neal. And 1:01 left to play in the third. That's good. 12 points for him.
Well, he's getting it warmed up now after that cold first half.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. He feeds it to Iverson. Feeds to Ratliff. Rises up and throws it down.
2 hands for safety, 1 hand if you want major elevation.
That's right. That's right.
You know you can get up higher with 1 hand. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It really is true. I mean, you can extend better with 1.
Well, whatever he did,
Really.
whatever it was, it definitely worked. But
The Lakers have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
And the first one at the line is good. The 76ers making a switch here. Good on both. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Iverson dishes to Ratliff. O'Neal's there. Ratliff kicks to Iverson. Iverson left side. And the shot is good. Iverson's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense has done, they haven't been able to find an answer to stop him, and he's had an answer for every defense he's seen. The fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. 76ers ahead, just dominating this one. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm gonna make sure it's broke.
As the fourth quarter gets rolling here, let's check out our Sprite Uncontainable Game. Let's go to Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Cav, our uncontainable game in this one, the stretch by the 76ers. With every trip down the floor, they find a different way to put points on the board and extend this lead. This looks like a team finding their stride on both ends of the floor.
Doris, thank you. That was quite a run they had, quite exemplary of what we think of when we think about that turning point. Definitely a Sprite Uncontainable Game moment.
yeah, you won't get any argument from me, Kevin. It was as big a factor in this game as anything. You know, when a team builds up that much momentum, it just becomes so hard to turn the tide back around.
Yeah, Steve, they just kept the throttle down. They sensed an area of weakness and then just continued to exploit it, never letting up.
Rodman is out there with Fox. And it's Fisher. And there's Bryant. That's the Laker 5.
Boy, they were not wasting any time on that fast break.
Well, when it starts with the turnover, that's the best time to get out and run. You can beat the defense down the floor that way. You know, for a player with his explosiveness, that was ATM time. Cash money, the easy way.
Yeah, that kind of defense is not going to cut it against him.
Cash money. I like that, Clark.
McKee, the pass to Geiger. Gets it to go.
His team has to tighten up inside. Way too many easy hoops in the lane.
Yep, that's 5 straight buckets they've given up from the key now, and it's hurting them.
Open look. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Working down low. Hughes kicks to McKee. Over Rooks. Again, Philadelphia.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence. Well, you know, you look at the success of teams like Oklahoma City, who built through the draft. I mean, teams starting to emulate that method for building up talent, but it takes patience. I think some are starting to question the incentives when teams are, in a sense, getting bad to get good. I think it's worth examining if that's the best model for the league to incentivize.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Muhammad, he's checked in for Geiger. Mahorn comes in for Hill, and it's Grant in for Snow. Passes it to Hughes. To the middle. Straight up. And the layup is good. Going back to what Clark just talked about, Steve, some call it tanking for draft picks. I don't like that word, but some people will use it. Teams like, say, Houston, that are trying to go from solid to great, it's not easy without the superstars that top draft picks can provide.
And the irony, of course, is that even if you have the best chance of winning the lottery, it's still only a 25% chance. So tanking isn't always going to pay off. The lottery often just comes down to a random drop of the ping pong ball, and all of a sudden some team that's had a decent season is getting the #1 pick. But it's a difficult issue to tackle for sure.
Good. And so here is Philadelphia. Overton, he's covered by Fisher. Pass to Mahorn. The baseline J. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
First one falls for.
Well, one of the rule changes that the league has implemented recently, one of the major issues was small market team owners feeling like they couldn't compete financially. They pushed for a harder cap, and it seems like the new rules are already reining in the big spending teams a little bit.
Harper, he's checked in for the Lakers. The 76ers also with a sub. Hill's checked in. And going back to the CBA's attempt to help smaller market teams, Steve, revenue sharing was also increased, which has been very beneficial.
Yeah, the total amount was actually quadrupled, which will play out over the course of the CBA. So the smaller market teams will get more help. And as the CBA goes on, the bigger market teams will be penalized more and more for exceeding that tax threshold. So it's going to be really interesting to watch it all unfold over the next few years.
Patterson dishes to Harper. Another shot. He takes it up and lays it in.
They made that one look easy, didn't they?
Now Hughes. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Overton, and that one's good.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
Hammer time! Did you see that?
Oh, we got to see that one again, guys. We got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
76ers have gotten absolutely red hot shooting the ball here in the fourth. A perfect 6 for 6. To the paint, Hill. Overnight, again, Philadelphia.
No question, they're trying to pound the ball inside. That's 5 straight hoops inside.
And if the D won't stop it, keep at it. I mean, those are the kind of looks you want all day long.
Harper kicks to Knight. Covered by Mahorn. And that one's good.
This defense is porous right now. I mean, way too many looks coming from inside the paint.
Now, it's 4 straight buckets now in the paint, and anybody in the NBA is going to make shots from there.
And there's the pass to Hughes. That's good. The Lakers have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Here's Ori, the rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure. Well, it was talked about quite a bit last season, a year ago, in the condensed schedule. We saw a lot of injuries as the year went on. And I thought the schedule just took too much of a physical toll, just playing the way they did on that accelerated schedule.
And the 76ers making a change here. Lynch is checked in. Inside, the double clutch. And he finishes on the layup.
Yeah, he's just embarrassing the defense right now because didn't really need to double clutch there.
Steve, you look back at the players who had to be shut down. Aldridge, Horford, Lee, Bogut, Curry. Big names missing the end of the season.
And many other names as well. I mean, you could have gone on and on, Kevin. But when you have to play back-to-back-to-back games, I mean, it's crazy. And I think last year was a difficult one for the players, for the teams. But, hey, that's just the way it was. And hopefully this year we'll see fewer injuries.
Philadelphia's gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
You look at the turnover situation, guys, and it's not been that bad. Just a handful, and when you take care of the ball like that, that can help you build a lead.
The Lakers have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. Here's Harper. The dish now to Patterson. Back to Harper. Shot clock at 6. Lets it go with a 3. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the board. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead. It shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
Outside Harper. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Gets it to go. Harper's got 20 points. And Philadelphia has possession.
Well, no question, playing in front of these big crowds brings a lot of pressure as well as excitement. A recent study found that for home players in clutch situations, they tended to excel in effort tasks like offensive rebounding, but struggled in the focus tasks like shooting free throws. Very interesting.
Now the 76ers on the break. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
Clark, going back to that study, I guess players on the away team didn't have that same struggle shooting free throws in the clutch. Did you notice that too, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's easier to shoot free throws on the road because the crowd is against you. Whereas at home, you know, if you miss, you hear the crowd gasp and they're so disappointed and you feel that disappointment. So as a result, you feel more pressure. It's kind of an ironic twist, but I think it's definitely the case.
Grant, he's checked in for Hill. Lynch hits them both.
Yeah, they seem to be looking for chances inside a little bit more this half.
And I love that mentality. You talked about it earlier, being the aggressive. It's the right way to play with the lead. Keep attacking.
McKee's checked in for Philadelphia. Here's Harper.
So I've said before that playing a zone is basically an admission that you're not as good as the other team. But I do like teams that mix it in here and there. Just a small doses of zone to try to keep the offense off balance.
76ers moving the ball around. Here's Lynch, and the shot is good.
Not much drama left in this one, guys.
No, it hasn't quite exactly been a nail-biter. I mean, it's going to be a great win for them, though.
Passes it to Ori. Poked away. Hughes against Harper. Buries it from about 10 feet away. And Steve, to follow up what you were talking about, there is a stigma for going to a zone, but really more and more teams are embracing it.
And I think part of that, Kevin, is that everybody is relying on pick and roll offensively. And pick and roll is so difficult to defend, especially these days with all the three-point shooters teams are putting on the floor. So if you play a zone, it counteracts the pick and roll. And now all of a sudden there's a little chess match going on between the offense and the defense.
He kicks it to Patterson. Pass to Ori. Fade away. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Well, that'll do it for us. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, Kevin Harlan saying so long. And as we end the game, we bring you our Jordan Player of the Game.